I think from an early age, I had sort of low self-esteem, not a whole lot of confidence, and I started experimenting drugs and got in with the wrong crowd. I was just going in the wrong direction and was really lost. And I had a very difficult time breaking from that group of people because it left me alone. I, at the time, was living in a farmhouse, and we had women over. These guys were all kind of doing drugs. My dad called me one day and he asked me, would you like to go to confession, you know? And I said, it was hard to turn him down. I said, okay, oh, sure, can you give me a ride? He came out, picked me up. We went to confession that evening. He started talking to me about the prodigal son and God's love for us and his willingness to always take us back. He dropped me off. But what started to happen inside me is that conflict that I was living. I felt like I was almost going to explode. And this tree in the front yard, I knew had two branches that were parallel to each other that you could literally lay down up in this tree, 15 feet up. I got up in this tree, and all of a sudden, as I got comfortable, my life was going before me. Regret and remorse just overcame me, you know, and I started breaking down as a young man. I just started crying. And this probably went on for a half hour. I was amazed because I noticed something going on in the background. And as I cried harder, the wind would speed up in the tree. It would just increase in its velocity. It was like a switch on a fan was turned up. My different levels, degrees of emotion expressed in crying were perfectly coincided with the wind in the tree. I knew without any doubt that God was there, that He was coming to me, like the father in the prodigal son story saying, Chris, come back to me. You know, I love you. I don't condemn you. I forgive you. Interesting enough, I climbed out of that tree that night. I went back into this farmhouse, and I was a changed man. I was different. I knew who I was, and I wasn't going to hold back anymore. So I shared with two fellows that were there that night that I had known for quite some time. Just frankly told them I was giving my life back to God, and I have not, since that time, turned back. It has really sustained me since. So whenever I go through a difficulty now, I go back to that experience with the Lord. So that doesn't mean everything's perfect. I need God to be a daily part of my life. He's, over the years, has been so faithful to me, in giving me everything I need to live this life, to live it successfully. The Catholic faith is so rich. All of the sacraments, confession, the Eucharist, are just seen as paramount in our experience as Christians. It's amazing that my dad talked to me about the prodigal son that night. God's love is equally vast and outreaching to every human being. And I would just say, just simply ask God to reveal Himself to you. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. Be open and ask God to show you His truth as to who you are and the life He has for you. Without Him, I would be lost forever, and death was awaiting me, and really turned to Him and don't regret ever having done that.